My foster family of 11 years is kicking me out by the end of the week. I have nowhere to go and I feel broken. I 18M was told earlier today that I need to pack up and leave by the end of the week. I still feel in shock. I was removed from my biological family when I was 7 due to issues with my parents. I was then placed in foster care and then matched with a couple who I will call the Peters. It's not their real name. No matter how much I actually want to blast their real info, I won't. The Peters were always really nice to me, and since I moved in when I was pretty young, after a while, I started to consider them my parents. I called them Mom and Dad. Treated them as my parents, treated their biological son as my brother. I wasn't their only foster child, they also have a 9-year-old boy who has lived with us for a little over a year. I was never adopted by them. I know why, because they live off the fostering allowance. Something that never really bothered me. They told me that it didn't matter, and that legality didn't make us a family. Which I believe. I went on their agency website earlier today and I found out that they are getting paid at least PS $2,400 from me per month. Or at least they were. Since I turned 18, they stopped getting the allowance. However, they applied for a stay-put arrangement for me, which meant they would continue getting paid something as they continued to support me and let me live with them. It wasn't as much, I think it was like PS $1,000 per month. They told me they had it approved until I was 21, so I thought I'd be able to stay at least until I finished uni. They sat me down today and told me I had to leave. They told me that fostering is a business and that they couldn't afford to keep me on just the stay-put arrangement allowance. They told me I had until the end of the week. 4 days. How generous of them. They said they need my room because they want to get a new foster placement. They literally told me it's not personal. Like that makes me feel any fucking better. They said they would still consider me like a son, not their son anymore. Like a son. And that they want to keep in touch. What a joke. They choose to kick me out. An 18-year-old with no job, no income, no nothing, about to start university. Yet their bio son, who is 25, gets to stay. So yeah, I guess fuck me, right? I'm just the one no one ever wanted. I guess I wasn't ever truly part of their family. Relevant comments. Po boy from Po family, they're doing it for the money. That is why. It's unfortunate, and they sound horrid. I'm sorry, Op, I hope it all works out for you. Leaving will suck, but at least you won't be surrounded by greedy leeches. OP, I thought they were my family. I'm genuinely considering going NC with them after I'm set up, whatever I'll end up next week. Cucky94, you absolutely should. You were 7 when you went into their care. They denied you the opportunity to find a real family who love you for you, and not the dollar you brought in. Fuck them. You deserve better. OP, I doubt anyone would have adopted me. I wasn't a great kid, in truth had more issues than a hospital piss pot. I wasn't a great kid in any sense. But I changed. Genuinely, I changed. I can't help but wonder if this is because of how I was as a young child. Nene 130,318. I'm so sorry this has happened to you, honey. You must be feeling awful. Do you have a care leaver's personal advisor? Not sure which area you are in. They should be supporting you to find move-on accommodation, in a supported setting if needed, or support you to approach your local housing office for support. Without cause, your foster family cannot give you 4 days notice to leave. They would need to give formal notice, which is usually about 4 weeks. It would be worth calling your children's services duty/out-of-hours telephone number and explaining the situation, because it will be whoever is responsible, i.e. the personal advisors team, who will be paying the staying put fees to the foster carers. So there is someone who is responsible and will need to provide immediate support to help you. OP, yeah, I'm meeting with him today. I'm going to tell him they've given me a verbal 4-day notice and that I need urgent help. If I'm honest, I don't want to stay here anymore. The whole dynamic has changed, and none of them even look me in the eyes now. But I'm not going to make myself homeless, so I'll stay until I have accommodation, and I'm not leaving the house until I do. And just some quick maths for anyone interested. I don't know what package I was placed on, because there's a difference allowance for each package, but according to the fostering agency website, the minimum was PS $2,400 for me. It goes to a maximum of $3,400 per month, but I'll estimate off the lowest. Mine obviously stopped, but it would be the same for the 9M foster placement they have now. So, 2400 x 12 equals 28,800 per year. Plus my 12,000 per year, from the staying put order. Gave them a nice 40,800 per year. Which they would pay little, if any tax on, as fostering allowance is taxed very lightly here. That maybe doesn't sound a lot to Americans with your high wages, but the average post-tax wage where I live is 23,985 per year. They had enough, I think. Mini update. Okay, thank you guys for all your advice. Honestly, I was in a state of shock yesterday, maybe still am today. I wasn't thinking straight. I only slept 2 hours last night, that's also I'm probably a little delirious today as well. Firstly, I have contacted my personal advisor, he'll having an emergency meeting with me at 1:30. So I'll have more details about what's going to happen to me then. He'll hopefully be able to sort out emergency accommodation for me. Secondly, to those of you saying the Peters can't legally just give me 4 days notice to leave, I will definitely be mentioning this to my pa and get his advice on it. I don't want to stay here any longer than I need to because since they told me it's like I don't exist. They just look right through me. But I'm not going to move out until I have safe accommodation for me, I will outright refuse. I'm not going to be made homeless. Thirdly, those of you saying contact my uni, I have an offer from them, but it's only conditional if I get my predicted A levels. Hopefully I will, but since I'm not technically a student yet, I don't know if they will actually provide any support yet. Finally, I am also going to ensure that the staying put allowance stops. I will tell my pa today that it should surely be stopped if I'm not living with them. Luckily, I have some money saved. Some people here have said I should be entitled to a bursary when I start uni, and I'll have my maintenance student loan to help me. I've already started looking for a job. Update 2. Okay, hi everyone, I just got home and I'm feeling incredibly tired, so this is just going to be a short update. Basically, I had a big long meeting with my pa, and he was very sympathetic and felt upset that the Peters are treating me this way. We had one meeting, and then I went to get food while he spoke to the Peters directly, and then I came back to meet him again to let me know everything that has happened. He's putting me on the list for social housing. I am hopeful that it will not be long until I am able to get my own house. I recorded the meeting because I'm so sleep deprived, and also I have really bad memory processing for long things like that because of my dyslexia/autism, or something, I'm not sure. I can listen to it again tomorrow after I've slept, but from what I gather they will help me with paying for rent costs. I will also get some money to help pay for furniture and things like that. When he spoke to the Peters, I don't know if he said they had to keep me housed for a while, or asked them to, I'm not sure. But they've agreed to keep housing me until the end of August. So at least I don't have to worry about everything happening in 3 days' times. He did tell me that if I feel uncomfortable I can be moved into a youth hostel place, while they wait for a property to be available for me. But I said if I can I would rather stay with the Peters until I am ready to move, even if it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. He told me they will continue getting paid the staying put allowance until the day I officially move out, and then it will be stopped. On a completely separate note, my best friend and I had a huge argument earlier. He said that I'm being ungrateful, and honestly what he said really hurt me. We had a huge argument. I just thought out of everyone he would get me and understand what I was going through. Maybe not. Maybe I'm being unreasonable. I am really tired, so maybe my emotions are just not being controlled well at the moment. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow after I've slept, and I'm hoping this argument will just blow over, because I need him at the moment. I don't feel like I have anyone else. Oh, and I haven't read all comments because I didn't expect to get so many. Thank you everyone who have offered support. It is genuinely so sweet and I am so thankful. Relevant comments. Jenny 820, glad things are working out. Don't worry about your friend. Right now you are in survival mode, trying to make sure you aren't on the streets. Hope everything keeps working out for you. OP, he said I should be grateful that they kept me that long anyway. Like the fuck? I'm not a pet. He also said some other things like how it's good that they're going to help another child like I was. Which is true, and I get that it's a good thing what they're doing to help people. But in saying those things make me feel like I'm being crazy for wanting to stay like I was promised by them. Ugh, I'm too tired and maybe I'm being irrational. I'm going to talk again with him tomorrow and say I'm sorry. It never bothered me that they were paid to keep me before. Genuinely never bothered me at all. I always knew I was a foster child. I was about 15 when I learned that they were paid money to look after me, and I told myself it was a good thing. And it probably was. I got loving parents for 11 years, which is more than some people can say. I just didn't ever think they'd make me move out when the payments stopped being as high. I found out that when I was still a child they were paid PS 111.82 per day for me. That's PS 40,814 per year. I had never felt different to the family. I had always felt loved and secure. I don't understand why they have changed their minds about me. None of them will even look at me in the eyes anymore, and it's gotten to the point where I can't leave my room anymore, because all I feel is the absence of the love that used to be there. I didn't come down for any meal times, which was a rule that you had to before. If I didn't go down before, I wouldn't have gotten any food. But Mom brought it up to my room and knocked on the door to say she was going to leave it there for me. I've used that 100 times, over and over again in my head to try and convince myself that they still love me. I called her by her first name when I came home yesterday. Not Mom, Claire. She looked upset when I did that, and a part of me is happy about that, and a part of me feels cruel for it. I knew it would hurt her, and I did it anyway. In some ways, I wish she wakes up to the pain she's causing me. I hope she takes it back and says that it is a lapse in judgment, and that she loves me and wants me to stay. But if that were going to come, I think it would have already. I guess I'm not worth the PS 76 per day they lose by not replacing me with another foster child. When I feel bad about hurting them, I remind myself they're kicking me out to get an extra PS 76 a day. That's what I'm worth to them. I don't expect anyone to read this or care. But I want to say thank you for the immense love you've all shown me. I feel nothing but gratitude to you all. Relevant comments. My in bad book, I follow you and read your posts because I really want you to be okay. You didn't deserve this. No child does, no matter their struggles. I've been thinking about you and putting all the good thoughts out there for you. I am Jenfrance. Your feelings are valid and important. You are not alone. Adopted is a great group here on Reddit just for adoptees. People who understand BC, they've been there. You can also find groups on Facebook, and there may even be local groups in your area if you'd like to connect with people in person. You're doing amazing.